Great job. I really, really hope that Zoom didn't eat this.
Hello, Tom, and your little
I,
Tomlings.
hello, Dan. Yes, these are extensions of myself. These are my nephews.
Hello,
Say
I'm
hello.
Tomling One. I'm Tomling One.
I am tumbling too.
They like dripped off you like Clayface in the animated series.
I like to take credit for their good looks, but I can't do that because all that credit goes to their mom, who is my sister. These are my nephews. Say hello. Welcome to the official episode 100 of Two Guys
Woo!
Talkin
Yes,
Toys.
we finally
We
made it
we
through the
made it.
99
We made it.
series.
It was
We were
just
waiting.
creeping.
We
It
were
was just
waiting for
creeping
you
along.
guys for our special treat for our 100th episode. So
It's an honor.
welcome. The
It was just
centennial.
it was just creeping along. It's like that parent that's warning their kid for like 1, 2, 2.5,
Such poor behavior management.
2 3/4.
Poor
And now
behavior
we're here.
management.
I
Now
still
we're
wonder,
here.
like, how
Fantastic.
far were they counting to 10 or 5 or like
I-
where are
But,
we
but
going?
all it does is teach kids you don't have to do what I say the first time I say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually teaches the kids better time management. So if they're ever in a hostage situation and they're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. The count of 4. Like, okay, this is my timeline. Here we
Right.
go.
You're like, I can get a lot done in the count of 4. A lot of mischief can be had.
That's when Sweet Dreams Are Made of These starts playing, and you get the Quicksilver scene from X-Men, which is kind of the only cool
I was
scene in
thinking,
the Apocalypse movie.
In my head,
Yeah.
Been Caught Stealing starts playing at the count of 1.
Everything slows down, bullet time happens. That's
I
it.
mean, who's to say what exactly constitutes 4 seconds in that scenario? You could have a lot of time.
I mean, this is also like what you experience when you're in like a toy store and you see a figure that you've been looking for a while, or you were hoping to see it, and then you see it and it's there, and then bullet time happens, and you got to make it to that figure before inevitably some other rando wheels into the aisle and starts looking.
only-
You're like, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way.
Tom has had a much more exciting store experience than I. So while going into Mortal Kombat in the aisle, Tom, did you get anything new this week?
I sure do. And speaking of bullet time, because we started to wander into stores and look for stuff and see what things are happening. So last week, I think it was last week where I showed off some of the new Power of the Primes. In case there are any actualies out there, I was mistaken. There are 13 original Primes, not 12. I was mistaken. So I want to make that correction right now, because I'm not going to make it again.
It's a baker's dozen of primes.
Yeah, you get 12 primes and you get an extra prime for free.
Mhm.
That's just how it works. Primus was very efficient that way. But we've been getting Transformer refreshes for the last maybe like week or so, and I started to see on like the forums and Facebook groups that people are starting to now see new Transformers trickling onto the shelves, which is a nice change from all the Transformers 1 stuff that's been just kind of hanging out and warming it. So we've got Power of the Prime stuff that's been showing up. We've got Studio Series stuff that's been showing up, and my most recent acquisition, which I'm very excited about, has been Megatronus, who is one of the coolest primes because he's also one of the biggest primes, and this is also in the original lore. There's the whole, they were decided to kind of tweak it and make it a little more, I don't want to say religious, but that's accurate, kind of religious. And then you've got Primus, who is the god of Transformers, and then the line of
you were the
primes.
god of Transformers.
Oh, not even remotely close. I'm a maybe like a second or third hand scribe who keeps messing up the stone tablets. So I have to keep throwing them down and making new ones and doing it all over again. And it's very much of a pain. But the Megatronus is essentially
Megatronus,
the fallen angel of Transformers. He was the prime that kind of turned on the other primes and became known as the Fallen, and was introduced in I believe the Dreamwave comics, which had all kinds of issues, but they introduced some interesting characters.
And
one of them
poorly
being,
done in the movie.
yeah. The less said about the Fallen from the Transformer movies, the better. But I think this was more the original intention, where he was, one of the biggest, baddest primes out there, and then he got tired of, just kind of got sick of everything and fell from grace. So he's got a cool tank mode, and he was, Megatron's inspiration, and the whole nine and whatever. Super cool, super big. I'm excited for this. Also,
here comes
found myself
two already opened things. This is a miraculous week.
Oh yeah. They are technically not in the box, but I have not removed them from their boxes.
Right.
Not yet. But they also put out Generation 2 Grimlock, which is awesome. So this means that I now own every version of the Studio Series Grimlock except for the original release, which I did have. I did buy that. And then the original Masterpiece version of Grimlock is excellent. And he's really, really cool. And he's great. And when I first got the Studio Series Grimlock, I was like, this is really nice, but I don't need them. I've got the Masterpiece version. And since then, they've done all the other Dinobots in the Studio Series style. So now the Masterpiece Grimlock doesn't fit in with them. So I need the original Grimlock. I mean, I guess I don't technically need them. I've got them in 4 other colors.
You do need them, Tom.
I do. I do need them. Like the Generation 2 one
every
is
time
awesome.
I have a toy, I'm like, I don't need this. I'm going to sell this. I'm going to get rid of this. And then it's like, as soon as they're gone, I miss them. It's like,
Yeah.
like that old saying, like, as soon as you break up with your girlfriend, you want it back, right? So
and this time, but this time, I mean it. Like, I really do want that Grimlock now. So I'm hoping that Hasbro does a re-release of that mold, because they've done it. They've done it for a couple of. They've re-released Snarl. I think they re-released. Slug. So maybe eventually they'll re-release Grimlock as well, because he's the most popular Dinobot. Even though Slug is the coolest Dinobot, because he turns into a Triceratops that spits fire.
Can't beat that.
Also. Yeah, I thought episode 100 would be the one where I didn't have any boxes to open, and that would kick us off on like the new era of Two Guys Talking Toys.
You lied to yourself, Tom. You lied to yourself.
I lied, and in the day, isn't that what really matters? That you lie to yourself about opening
I lie
all
myself
your toys?
about multiple things every day. While you're opening that, I'm going to say I like this for like everybody can be seen, but now I can't do the goofy things I normally do when you're talking. Usually I'm eating Raisinets, or I'm drinking, or picking my nose, doing all these things, and I can't do them now.
That just means you got to do that more. Do it with flair.
Have confidence when you do it.
You can start pulling your skin off, like Husk from the newest Nemesis wave.
Oh, nice! I like the skull on that.
Yeah,
awesome.
I like the way that this came out. He looks really good, and Husk is a great character. I love that. I love that not all mutations from X-Men are just I'm good looking, but also I can control ice, or I'm a normal looking person. Sometimes the mutation is rough. Like Husk has to rip off her skin to expose whatever it is that she developed underneath to help her complete the mission. So I like that they gave her, kind of like the half iron face, and this little, it's hard to see, this little blob thing right here. That's actually her skin.
Nice.
Yeah, that's her skin. So you can pose her like pulling her skin off of her face. I do wish that they had maybe like a third head that was her like in full iron.
Right.
But I've seen other people who just paint that up. That they paint one of the heads a full silver. And if this ever goes on sale,
I was like, not every mutant is good looking. Like this curvaceous blonde right here.
Yeah, like that would be my luck. This would, like, I imagine if I was a mutant and I had some sort of power, it would be something like this, where it's like, Tom can become, I don't know, a ball of energy, but to do that, he has to slough off his flesh and hope that I can reform it afterwards. Because
it's like it's like the hairy guy they show in the first episode of X-Men, where he's in line with the bad guys, and he's like, "No, I'm one of the good ones. I don't have to do that." Or he just got hairy.
one of the earliest episodes of the Fox X-Men was so good because it's that same guy and he's getting ready to, like the quote unquote friends of humanity are about to attack him and he's like, I don't have any powers, I just look different. You're still gonna beat him to a pulp. Poor hairy guy. But that is what I got this week. So hopefully next week I'll have the rest of Nemesis put together to show off because he is a really cool Build-A-Figure. I like him a lot.
That should be cool to see.
So what have you gotten? What have you got? We'll take.
I was I didn't get anything new from the store per se, but I was farting around on Temu about 2 weeks ago.
Were you doing that off camera?
Yes. And I found these like little like articulated guys that look kind of like the iRobot figures.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I've seen those on Amazon.
Yeah,
Where did you find those?
I found them on Temu. They were like $2 a piece or something like that. So I got a pack of 2, and then I got a third one that I found separately. And then, so I found this pack of 2, but they came with like pretty neato accessories. Like they're well articulated. Now this one's got good plastic, and I got a black one with the green highlights, and then I got a green one with black highlights. But they come with a cowboy hat and a bunch of guns and a guitar. He's kind of honky tonk.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
This one also had a bag with like a shotgun and a tennis racket.
So these are fully plastic, right?
A shield, yeah, fully plastic. And then I ordered another one who you could clearly see is 3D printed because it has the striations.
I was wondering about that because I've seen them advertised, but I wasn't sure if they were like production plastic or if they were all resin.
These are production plastic. This one is a resin, but it came with a custom head and a cape, which is why I got it. And he's pretty neato.
Oh wow,
that is really cool. You know what those remind me of? Do you remember the toy line Zevos?
Yes.
They remind me of those. I loved that line, and I wish that they had been able to go just a little bit further because there were some really cool ideas that they had towards the very end. And they're like canceled waves that looked awesome. But those remind me of that line. It's really neat.
And this, had this kind of Doctor Doom feel that I love, but it had that custom head, so that's why I got it. But it came with a bunch of hands, which are
you will probably
let's see, who could we compare it to? I have
I couldn't tell from the pictures online.
Here, so
larger than I thought. I thought they were maybe like 4 inches.
No, they're good, probably 5 inches.
No,
and then this guy, the 3D printed guy, came with a bunch of hands. And they're all sparkly because of the 3D. I don't know if you can see it on there. He came with this neato sai with a plastic.
Oh, very Fortnite looking.
Yeah. And he's got
that is Fortnite.
And then with him, because he was green and black from the same people, I ordered this cool motorcycle.
Oh, very nice. Now, is that plastic?
Yeah, this is like plastic, and it has the like you pull it back.
Oh, okay.
It goes motor action.
Does it spark?
No, I wish
it did. That would have been perfect.
But I had like bags of accessories, the cowboy hat, the thing, like this bag, bags of guns.
Wow.
Like more guns and stuff.
A lot of bang for your buck.
So like those 2 figures and then the 3D printed guy and the motorcycle, I think ran me like $5.
Oh my goodness.
Not bad at all. Good job, Temu.
They were cool. I figured I'd try them out. Like you, I've seen them here and there in other places, and I figured, I'll try it out. So I like them. They're fun. You just like pose around in fights.
Yeah,
and, they're kind of fun.
They have to follow you. I mean, you have to follow your lead. Get me a couple of those.
Yeah, and you would have.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
These remind me of a line that Tyler and I used to get called stick bots.
I was gonna say that
with the plungers.
They made the animals, the dinosaurs, but with the little stickies at the end, so you could put them on a wall or something. But
they had the suction cups.
Yeah, but they were made for stop motion. I feel like these guys would be even more perfect for that.
Oh, yeah, they'd be perfect for it. I love those sticky guys. We got them for Jared, and he really wanted to do the stop motion on his phone. I don't know if he actually produced something, but these would be great for stop motion.
Yeah, I agree.
The cool cowboy hat.
Yeah,
it fits on there really well.
Dude, you could do Smooth Criminal.
Yeah,
it's true.
But they've got like multiple. The neck has multiple joints. Like he could do the whole like Janet Jackson dance. Like he could do. He could. He's got the chest pivot. Like there are joints all over the place. So these guys would be great for stop motion.
That is awesome. I like it. I gotta look into getting some of those now. You've sold me on them.
I like them. All right, who else got something new? Show and tell time.
Okay, I guess I go first. Once I got to lean over to get him.
I feel
he got a new limbo stick.
Check out that collection.
It's not from last week, but it actually was my 20th birthday 2 weeks ago. So
right,
enjoying the big 2-0 recently.
Happy
so
birthday.
We went on a family vacation to Orlando, Florida. We did Disney and stuff. And on the last day at Epcot, there's also Universal stuff. I'll show that in a sec. But the main thing I got,
I love the gift shops at Universal.
This guy right here,
Willie.
This copyright free fellow. He says that
Steamboat Willie. You can make all the horror you want.
Yes, he said he'd gladly start a commercial for Two Guys Talkin Toys and say that it's the best show of all time because he's no longer under Disney's concept. It's the best show ever. Ha Hey, it just whistles.
Very good. Hey,
that's right. You're right. He would just whistle.
Fun fact about this guy got flagged by TSA because he's weighted. He has like this is right here. There's like weight inside of him.
Oh, so he sits up.
I think the funniest part is like to my side, I actually got like it got taken off by my dad, thankfully, because he had the right tools. But like they had this headband and they forgot to take off, that like tag that they have in stores to make sure you don't steal stuff.
Yeah.
They forgot to take it off, so I thought that was gonna get flagged. So I had the receipt for this specific headband in there because I'm like, if it gets flagged, I can show them I have the receipt. Like, no, I'm not Steve because I'm not trying to get through with this headband specifically.
Right.
But then no, it was Steamboat Willie that got flagged for.
Like I want to talk to
him.
Talk to Mr. Steamboat over there.
Yeah. So Tyler, remind me, you collect like squishies and plushies and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I do collect the plushies are more my thing. I have like. Off camera, there's Waddle Dee and my waffle guy. Underneath my TV, which is directly behind me, I have a capybara from U2's. I have my two iconic guys, which I'll get in a sec because I want to show those off. I got a squishable worm as of recently because that was one that I wanted. Ironically, you told me that when I was with my grandfather, who I shared when I say birthday with, when he got me the squishable worm. That was like so I'm grateful for that. I have a pink Squishmallow cow. I have a cinnamon roll Husheen, that internet cat. I have a hot cocoa I got from a claw machine at Great Wolf Lodge. I have the Plague Doctor Squishable. I have two noodle lunch ramens, one soy, one chicken from the claw machine at Great Wolf
I love that there's
Lodge.
Different flavors.
Yeah, I have the Sonic Squishmallow. I had the cinnamon roll Squishmallow from Sanrio. I have a Stitch Plus. We also have from a while back at Newsbury, we got Plants vs. Zombies zombie head.
Holy cow! How big is that? Is that the size of your head?
He's bigger than my head.
That's massive. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, no, this is terrifying. This is why I'm glad that like I have.
If that glowed in the dark, I would.
See, that's
yeah.
I like the idea that members of our family have like the girlfriend test. Like Uncle Tom, for you, it's the Godzilla cake head. And for Tyler, it's gonna be the decapitated zombie head. Like, listen, if you're okay with this, you're okay with anything. Like, this is for real.
Right.
Oh yeah, for anyone that is not in the know, my sister does amazing custom cake work, and for one of my birthdays, because I'm a huge Godzilla fan, she made this amazing looking Godzilla. It looks like Godzilla's head rising up out of like the table, and I couldn't bring myself to carve into his head. So I decapitated him. We ate from the neck down because that was all delicious cake. And I held on to the head, which I brought home, and it's now sitting in my freezer. But it's been there for a very long time now because I will never take it out and I will never eat it. I just won't. And it's just been sitting there. So if potential
Tom's power ever goes out, we're all heading over there to eat some cake.
Yeah, I'll be like, look, I know we got to survive, and this is what I've got. But any potential significant other is going to have to be okay with maybe one day we're hanging out and she goes to get like a drink and wants some ice and opens the freezer and there is a Godzilla head in my freezer. Yeah. And she's going to have to be okay with that. Or this will not work out.
Yeah, no, I probably should like head to more like cons, so like they're more okay with when I bring out the giant Clefairy like Squishmallow, and then like, you know what? Okay, babe, I like that. Just get one for me as well.
Right, that's perfect. Tristan, did you get anything new you wanted to show off?
Uh,
What you got going on aside from that cool poster?
I think this is the only figure I have that
yes,
can
I
say
like it.
crisscross applesauce.
oh
Yeah,
my goodness, that's
outside of the
amazing.
Marvel, outside of the like the Marvel Legends like hyper articulated Spider-Man, that's I think that is.
Yeah. Go on, Tristan, sorry.
But yeah, I got this of
That's
my
Maru.
favorite Sanrio, the Bad Maru.
He's
I was
great. He was
very
my
happy with
favorite.
that. Uh he was one of the only material things I grabbed from our trip. He was like universal.
Mhm.
Everything else was edible, and it was promptly put into my belly.
Right, as well it
Can't
Delicious.
should
show
be.
that off, but
With butterbeer.
yeah, we got the frozen butterbeer,
Yeah,
worst brain freeze I've ever had.
I was not the only one that didn't get a brain freeze from that. I was like, it's cool. I think I
Wow.
just
If my brother ever said I'm the only one who didn't get brain freeze, I would have laid into him for an hour about not having
Wow,
like
Tyler.
that would have been all day long.
I didn't
Being able to
mention it at the
get
time. I was like,
oh, all right.
I made I'm terrible at reading the room most of
Did,
the time, but that was like one of the times where I'm like, probably shouldn't
did,
say anything about this.
Right.
did you play along and you're like, oh no, I also have the brain freeze.
I
So
didn't play
so
along.
freezy.
Like,
I just was doing what I was
Oh, this
doing
is the
of
worst.
like
I
being
have
that
the worst
annoying.
brain freeze.
I was just like getting pictures because I wanted to like start doing stuff for like personal Instagram just to like kind of like
Mhm.
build it for like people in my family to like see. So like I feel like all I had to do was like go back to taking pictures and they and they didn't notice anything.
So
We
that
were all
well,
lying on the ground, just like loathing our pain.
And I
We were
like that.
talking.
And I like that one pretentious Instagram influencer like,
just doing the deuce in front of your brain freeze brother.
yeah, no,
Like,
like
yeah, buddy, this is great. so everyone's got some really good gets, and everyone picked up different items from different locations, whether it be vacation stuff, and I got my stuff from Target, and Dana got his stuff from Temu. So I
which
want
I'm
to
still playing with.
continue. Yeah, like I want to continue our conversation from last week where we talked about places that we used to go to find toys. And in the in like the 70s, 80s, early 90s, it was a lot of like department stores and a lot of stores that don't exist now, like your Toys R Us and your Caldors, your Kmart. But over the years, collecting has changed and it's kind of transformed and it's adapted to the current times and the model. And nowadays, a lot of things that we might get in a different way than what we used to. Yeah, everyone still goes to the store and looks around and finds what they're looking for. But now we've got things like Amazon. Every so many of my unopened boxes are just because now instead of having to get in a car and go to the store, you have the option to go online, find what you want, click a button, and it's dropped off on your porch. And I tend to fall behind between things that I find in the store and I bring home and open and whatever, and the stuff that I get delivered to me kind of starts to pile up and I don't open it until the show. So I want to talk about where you go to find what you want, the different ways in which that you acquire
Currently.
stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm sure that for Tristan and Tyler, it's different. Like they have a different storyline than you and I, because
Mhm.
we grew up not being able to shop online.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned a couple times that I was really late to shopping online for toys. It was,
Mhm.
other than, jumping on eBay was, you know, into the mid 2000s when I started doing that. And in
Yeah.
regards to buying on Big Bad Toy Store, that really happened not many years ago. So I still like going to the store. The sad thing is, though, so many people are buying online that like the places like Target and Walmart, which I'm sure we're going to speak about, almost feel like liquidation places because
Mhm.
they're simply not getting the toys in until
Mhm.
after they made their run online. And it seems
Yeah.
like whatever's left over they get, because we're not getting them at the stores first or even close to first as they're getting them online.
Yeah, the best, I kind of feel like the best case in point for that is the Walmart Collector Con that they do two or three times a year. Right now, like as we speak, there are notifications going out to people for the Snake Skeletor from the Ninja Turtles versus He-Man line. I pre-ordered that the second it went live, and this was months ago. And I've started to see people on, again, on like Facebook forums and whatever. Some people get them early because if you're in California or you're maybe like a stone's throw from California, those have started to appear in those Walmarts or like local places there. But the people who pre-ordered them on the website, nobody has, they have fulfilled no orders yet. Maybe by the time this is posted, some people will have gotten the shipping notice or something. But people have either gotten no notice, maybe a shipping notice, or a cancellation notice. Meanwhile, maybe if you're fortunate enough to live close enough, you've gotten to see it in the store and pick it up. So this is why I treat most brick and mortar stores as a backup. I pre-order everything. Yep. Anything that I want, anything that I may want to get my hands on, I pre-order it immediately from multiple sources. And then if I still do the store run, I'll still go to Target, Walmart, whatever.
They rarely get new toys. Yeah, like you can go weeks and the inventory doesn't change at all. Like nobody's buying anything and nobody's replacing anything.
Yeah, but every now and then, and unfortunately, it seems to be becoming more and more rare. Every now and then, you'll get lucky because I have Megatronus pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon, and I have to remember to go and cancel those because this is how I wind up with duplicates. But I'll go and I'll check, and if they do happen to be in stock, then I'll get them and then I'll cancel it. But the pre-order is almost like the insurance. And then if they don't ever hit brick and mortar, or if you get, if they get one case of because you're only going to get maybe 2 cases of these guys, you'll get a grand total of 4 figures. And if you're not there when they go out on the shelf, you're never going to see them.
Right.
So like you almost kind of have to pre-order to make sure that you have a shot at getting these, because if you rely on, like you said, if you rely on just the store to get them in stock, they're probably not going to get them in stock, or not enough for you to get.
Right. Tristan and Tyler, what is your experience here? Did you guys start buying your stuff online? Now I know Squishimals and those kind of things, like they're kind of ubiquitous, but I don't pay enough attention to them to see how quickly the inventory turns over in stores. So tell me a little bit about like your plush stuff. Do they show up new in the stores when you're expecting them? And what does that turnover look like?
I'm a bit different because I'm kind of like more like I go with the flow. Like I have ordered like toys online, but I don't do it like a lot. Maybe that'll change in like the future when I'm like more in a stable place economically, because I definitely want to get big into collecting. But I think part of the joy of it is like going into a store and like finding like something that you might like.
Amen, brother.
Like there's definitely like I feel like the stuff that I'd go online for is the exception, not the rule, because I kind of like going in and seeing like we'll get to the stores later, so I don't want to like spoil it ahead of time. But like there's a lot of stores that I go into. Like I like going to my mall and going to those stores to see if there's like anything cool this time around. And there's like a couple like picks, like I've scouted their websites to see if what kind of toys that they could have, and then I'll scout them out to see if they're in stock. And if I'm like they're not, I'm like, oh well, hopefully we'll get a restock soon. And I think I also
good. Well, there were stores at the mall like that, Showcase or Showtime, whatever that place is called. Showcase.
Yeah, Showcase.
Like they get some cool things in there and have a pretty regular turnover of stuff.
Yeah, I think I would prefer like going to like local stores. Like, don't get me wrong, every some other like day there might be something good at like Target, or like I think it's more for like you, because I remember seeing like on old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff or like Target. But oftentimes I like either the smaller brands, like smaller like department stores like FYE, because I know there's a lot of them on Long Island, or like the local stores. Like we have like, I know you have stuff set up at Time Warp, which you're very, very familiar with, and then there's also like Funky Town, and then there's also like a lot of toy stores around the area that I haven't been to yet, and also alongside with toy conventions, which I've gone to. Like they had like Sitting Cutie, a Pokemon that you can buy like in person, which you typically have to do on the online store, and I like having that opportunity. Speaking of which, Pokemon is kind of another exception, because like all other merch you have to get on the online store, but even then it's sold out. Like if you heard about those like the current card game scalpers, Yikes!
Yeah,
Right, because they always do,
that whole
and they always
situation.
do their release online at like 11 a.m. when people are at work, so I can't really do it.
and I've started seeing the sign, like the handwritten signs on some of the stores that say we are out of something, or we will get more Pokemon cards from
Eggs.
whatever release at this time, or limit of like 2 per person, so you don't have
Right.
those people coming in and again supermarket sweepstakesing the whole thing into a cart and walking off with it. That infuriates me. I can't stand that.
Yeah, that's annoying. I definitely do want to get back into physical ones because like it's way easier when I play TCG Pocket, which I've gotten into to like do it online, which is a different ball game. But like to get back to it, I think as you can see, there's like Pokemon card collecting, and I like doing that. I think one of the things I mentioned with those stores is that they typically have like older cards or more specific cards. Like there's
Right.
like Grimm's around that's like dedicated to like stuff like that, to do like the Pokemon cards. I actually did in Time Warp. There's like the standard TGC people, and I'm just gonna say they're amazing. They help me with the
Time
college.
Warp.
Any
Shameless
Yeah,
you
plug.
can find any Pokemon there. Like it's insane. I
Yeah.
was going there and sifting through, and I was like, hey, I want Mawile. Oh, they have like 30. Well, nice.
Well, that's a good feeling. So, Tristan, where do you find, aside from Pokemon Joint at Time Warp, which is now Retro Relics Time Warp, what
Yeah.
what sort of venues are you searching through and finding your
Uh,
stuff?
this same sort of stuff as Tyler. It's just I'm looking for I'm looking in separate sections.
Mhm.
So I'm going to we go to Meriwether Comics. That's where I get my
We're doing lots
where I
of
get
shameless
my
plugs. I love it.
pop
Oh,
figure fix.
fantastic.
Although this one's an exclusive from Walgreens. Because you walk into Walgreens every so often, they have a lot of Lego
Walgreens
Mario
is an
stuff.
interesting
They have
place. Yeah, because
yeah.
they get exclusives. Exclusive Marvel Legends. They got that great Fantastic Four line. People don't
Yeah.
usually think about Walgreens when
Yeah.
they're thinking about where am I going to find a cool toy? And I'll pop in there, not as often as Target, which is almost every other day, right? Because I need veggies for the turtles and stuff. But the Walgreens is right next door. So maybe once every 2 weeks or so, I pop in there just to walk down the toy aisle and see what they have.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not a bad spot,
when
especially
they
with
were
allergy season coming up. You know, you're gonna grab
That's right.
Benadryl and might as well
Yeah,
grab Mr.
need
Fantastic as
some
well.
Claritin and this Marvel Legends exclusive.
Yeah, when Walgreens was getting Marvel Legends exclusives, I was much more. They were part of the rotation for me because I would go in and see if they had. 'Cause they were doing the Cosmic line and they had the Fantastic Four. So every maybe like 2 or 3 months they were getting another member of the Fantastic Four, or they
Right.
were getting like
Silver Surfer was good one.
yeah, they were getting like Fire Lord and whatnot. So I would go in and double check. The first one that I remember tracking down was Agent Venom. Of all
Yes.
people, like he was a Walgreens exclusive before they started working him into the regular Marvel Legends line. But yeah, it was kind of weird going into a Walgreens. That has slowed down since then. I don't
Yeah,
know if
it
it's
absolutely has. I haven't heard of any exclusives lately.
same thing for Transformers. They were getting exclusive Transformers for a while. And that seems to have kind of cooled off. Just I'm curious about your Funko Pops, and Tyler, you too chime in on this. Do you purposely keep yours in a box, or do you open any of them and display them? I don't collect them, so I don't know.
So much easier to display in the box because you could just stack them up the wall.
Is
They
that what
Yes.
they
you guys
were
do?
for me because like
Oh.
because like you were actually there when I got rid of like pretty much all of mine except for like one that I kept because my aunt gifted it to me and I didn't want to get rid of it, so it's just like in a box underneath my bed. Sorry if you're watching. I very much appreciate it. I
You
put
got
other good
sentimental
stuff.
value.
Yeah,
It
you
has
held
sentimental
on to
value.
it. That's
I held
important.
on to it. It has sentimental value. It's like
I'm the same way.
I-
I can't get rid of something once it's gifted to me. Even if I
Yeah.
don't like it, I gotta hold on to it.
yeah, as much as I love collecting, sometimes it's like certain like things like don't hit with me. Like I feel like I've been like with Funko Pops. I remember there was like something with a landfill, and I'm like, I don't really want to collect these anymore because like I feel like it's similar. It was like they were cheap. And even then, I've been hearing like mixed things about the Squishmallows. So like I feel like I'm gonna keep the guy because I'm like with like Funko Pops where I'm like I don't like the design. I like the Squishmallows, so I'm gonna keep the guys that I already have. But I might be more moving over to Squishables more. But
Yeah.
the problem with that is like similarly the companies I'm now hearing like these negative things about also tend to have the cheapest stuff to collect. So like with like Squishables, like Giant Biblical Angel, absolutely amazing. I love this guy. He cost $65, and like I get and like there's gonna be and like I'm hoping to get to a point where I can like collect it more. Like I want to get more shelves. I want to get my own place right now because I'm staying back here while I do college with my parents who are thankfully providing for me. So if you're watching this, mom and dad, thank you so much for doing this for me.
Big ups to
Oh,
mom and
what
dad.
But like it's more of like a every once in a while, or like if like somebody's like willing to like lend it for me or get it for a gift, that's when I get it. But then like a
Right.
consistent like thing I can like build up, and that's sad because like I mean at least they're like high quality, they're like really good quality stuff. Like similarly when it comes to like Pokemon cards and stuff, I do like it. Like I admit I'm very procrastinating because I have 2 Battlestar's Elite Trainer booster boxes from Funky Town that I got, and I have not opened them up yet. So
Yeah, look,
You're pulling a Tom. It runs in the family.
don't feel bad. I've got so many boxes of things. I started a mini series called "What's in the Box" because I just had so many.
I open my
boxes
stuff. Tristan, do you open your stuff right away?
I leave it in the bags. This is like a gift or something. I have to figure out a space to put it in, and it's just hard to get to that point.
Sometimes it takes a minute.
This is nice, but where does it go?
You have things to do. You're like, I'll get to it later. I'm glad that I have it. I'll get to it a little bit later.
Some newest. So of course we go to Target a lot, right? You know what? But I was thinking. I said earlier, and I'm correcting myself because I said, Tyler and Tristan, you're younger and probably started out online because you haven't experienced store closing. But now I'm thinking you have. Like Toys R Us closed during your toy experience time.
Yeah,
right?
That's what got us into collecting.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole short about how I optimize like learning taxes.
That's right. And also like the Disney store. The Disney store closed, which was one of my favorite stores. Those Disney, what are they called? Lunchbox, Disney, whatever box. Those line of figures. They had the Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, Marvel.
What's it called? Disney Infinity?
No. They were articulated figures. I want to say they were Lunchbox, whatever they were called. But fantastic line of figures. They all looked cartoony. The Star Wars ones were phenomenal. And man, I would buy them, and then they would go on clearance for like $5. I would buy them all. And there were Diamond Select Marvel stuff there. I got all of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Planet Hulk, which was a Disney exclusive. All of those were. I got those on clearance. I loved the Disney store. As a grown man, that can be embarrassing to say, but I did.
It should not be. Be proud.
Store. Right. Yes, I am a Disney princess, and I loved it. But that has closed in like your shopping time, as well as GameStop.
The GameStop is like always weird to me because like I feel like here on Long Island, it's like pretty much I do not know if there's any like open left because like the last ones that were like remaining like all closed.
There's one of them by you, Tom.
But
right?
There's that one gone. The last one that I know of is by the it's not Okie Dokies anymore. I think it's an Applebee's now. That's the last one that I know. It's by a Best Buy. It's on.
You had one
off of Sunrise.
You had one by you, and you have that awful comic book store that we never go into because it's.
And that one's still open.
Yeah,
amazingly, somehow it outlasted GameStop.
It's horrible.
GameStop is gone.
They've got nothing, and what they do have is completely overpriced.
Yeah, the GameStop by the Walmart is gone. The GameStop that's in Smith Haven Mall is gone. I think it's just that when I went in there looking for some more Transformers, and when I was in there, it was just one guy, one customer, and she was asking him about other GameStops, and he's like, "Yeah, most of them are gone. You'll find I think there's maybe a few more left on the island." He said most of them.
That Blockbuster.
He said most. He said most of them are now in like Nassau. And even those are just slowly being picked off one by one. I am kind of surprised that they've lasted as long as they have. But they had that last minute push where they were getting action figures for. I mean, they're still getting action figures, and on the website they still have a pretty decent action figure selection. But their brick and mortar used to get things a lot more frequently, and I remember going in and finding Masters of the Universe classics stuff when they were selling those off, and their old Thundercats line, a lot of the newer GI Joe stuff, and then that just started to peter out. And the last things I remember them getting were like the
classifieds regularly, and then they stopped. And the other problem is they were marked up so high. Like FYE,
that was the other issue.
FYE has great stuff, but it's 15% more expensive than
Oh, yeah.
any other store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ty, Tris, you guys go to FYE a lot more than I do.
Okay,
What's your
okay.
experience been with that?
I will. I just want to go back to GameStop and put my team full hat. I think the real thing that like kills GameStop here, because when we went to like Arizona to see family in Florida, I heard the game. I don't know about the Florida one, but we went to the GameStop one and they said they were doing well. Is that like, when it comes to recent games, like I have as a Steam Deck owner, you don't have to buy any cartridges now. You just get the games online. You get the Steam cards from anywhere. With the newer stuff, like I'm assuming is going to happen for like the Nintendo Switch 2 with Xbox Online and PlayStation 4, the newer releases you commonly get either digitally or you can get them pretty regularly at Target or online with Amazon. So there's no reason to go into GameStop anymore.
Right.
And for older games, there's like
in the same way
better
that Walmart
places.
kind of like killed and Amazon sort of like killed Toys R Us. Like you could just go there instead.
Yeah,
Lazy people who don't like the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah,
it is similar way when it comes to like older games,
Instant
like
gratification.
Yeah, and in similar way, GameStop doesn't have like too late of a catalogs. And here in Long Island, we have a lot of like good like retro game stores. Like we have like Game On, which is an arcade, and also they have their own places. They got GameStop that we mentioned at Smith & Malkin, a place for like video game. I forgot, it was like
Trading Post.
something trading post. Yeah,
yep.
and then they have like this whole selection of games. They have like a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're like games are higher priced, but also like people really want them. So I get it. You need to make back your value.
Right.
But like they have like older games, which I feel like if you want to get them in person, you go there.
Right, you're right. The retro game is what's keeping brick and mortar open, not the new stuff, because you could just get it online, right?
Yeah, because the new stuff is going online, and the old stuff GameStop had wasn't nearly old enough for anybody to really go into it to collect. It's like there's like maybe I'll find like the old like Wipeout for Wii U, but like I could also get it from like Video Game Trading Post probably for a better price and a better deal, along with a lot of other cool stuff. So
right.
Okay, we're back on top of the FYE. I'm sorry for the extended time.
No, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this show.
Yeah, FYE
Just
is
to
so
ramble on.
awesome because again, as a pop figure collector, they have a whole wall of that. It's spread across all every genre. You can find Winnie the Pooh next to Hello Kitty, next to
they do have them well
Demogorgon.
organized there too.
There's always some kind of sale going on. There's always like buy two get one free, or like buy one get one half off.
I just picked up Captain Planet and Toxic Crusader there, the Pops figures a couple of weeks ago. And Tom and I were there.
They also have these sorry for interrupting. They have
go ahead.
These interesting, they're not Marvel Legends. They're Marvel figures, but the boxes they come in are references to comics. Like the front of the box comic, you open it up and then you get to see the character. They have a really good Wolverine, really good Iceman, really good Cyclops. They have the story of the
Didn't you pick up a couple of those? Didn't you buy a couple not long ago?
Who, me?
No. One of the boys bought something there that was similar to that, or they were looking at them anyway.
I was definitely looking at those.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
I'm a definite. My issue is I'm definitely a window shopper. I go into the mall and I'm like, look at this.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want that?
What's this? Yeah, I do the same thing.
Honestly, I think it's because I don't have like enough to like consistently like buy stuff. That's the reason I'm a window shopper. Because I'm telling you, the second I can get like consistent income where I get a good house and good stuff, toy shelves are going to be empty because I'm just going to buy everything for my own self.
Yeah. You know what's funny now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, the thrill of the hunt is different now than it was when we were younger, or even just pre-COVID, really, because you were expecting to see new inventory. Yeah. Now it could be something you're not even interested in, but you've been there so many times that you have both toy aisles memorized. Right. Yeah. So now it's you just walk down and you're like, nothing new. I'm going to go. Right.
Yep.
Now it's like, wow, that's actually new. I have no interest in it at all, but that's cool that there's actually something new here. So it's like not the thrill of the hunt. It's just the thrill of
the search for something new.
Experiencing something new. Yeah.
I love listening to the boys talk about the way that you collect now, because like you said, Tyler, now you have you're getting your own money, you're able to make your own financial decisions, which is it's fun to me because
I shouldn't be able to make my own financial
look,
decisions.
I'm bad at it. But when you guys were little, I remember being someone that collected for myself. Like what you're experiencing right now with like you're getting older and you're getting into the workforce and finding a job and working out your own budget and figuring out
life stinks from this point on, fellas.
yeah, it doesn't get any better, and
Yeah,
it's going to be like this for 40 plus years. But you getting into that situation, I was a few years ahead from where you were when you guys were born, and I was buying stuff for myself. And when you came along, my thought process was, I got to give them all the things that I didn't have when I was little. So when
And you
and this
sure
was the
did.
mindset. Yeah, so this was the mindset, and not only was it wasn't just me. It was then that it was your Aunt Cookie and your parents, but mostly competition between me and your Aunt Cookie. So anytime that we went out, and anytime we went to we were visiting, we went to Toys R Us or to Kmart or Walmart or whatever, and I would try to get you guys to come with me. And anything that you stared at for more than a few seconds, you were probably going to get.
Right.
And
I was the same with Jared.
Yeah, like I made that specific financial decision because I was now, I like where you guys are right now makes me super happy because this is exactly what I had planned. I wanted to make you into
This is him. He
collectors,
does this
but
with his
I was like,
fingers.
I felt for your track.
He's going-
I
Look, I have a
wanted you
thumb.
guys. Yes, it's all coming together.
That's funny because I was just messing around with him and I was making him do that.
It all worked out. But as a collector, and you want to see, I'm not going to have kids. I'm sorry, mom and dad. I'm not going to have any. And you guys were my stand-in for that. And I wanted to pass on my love of collecting to you. Yeah, you're the next best thing. And being an uncle, look, people, being an uncle is the best thing in the world. You get to show up. You get to be super cool. You get to give the kids toys and some candy. And when they start freaking out, it's time to bounce. You let someone else handle it. But I enjoy getting toys. But when we were out and you guys were looking at toys, what brought me joy was getting toys for you and seeing the enjoyment that you guys got out of it. Even if it was momentary and it hit the point where you were just getting whatever, just getting anything that you wanted. But that became what I enjoyed about coming to see you guys and hanging out and whatnot. And it was like, well, now I can pass on this collecting bug to the boys, and it'll be great. And I love that now you're old enough to like make your own collecting decisions, which are different from mine. So like I'm fascinated by like the pop decisions and the squishmallow decisions, because that's very different from the stuff that I've got. So
Anyway, be sure to check out our new show, Two Guys Talkin Toys Next Generation, coming on.
the next generation.
I like it.
So I want to keep this going for just a little bit longer. What else are you collecting? What was the other type of? They're not pops, but there's another type of like kind of small custom stylized.
The mugs.
Oh, yeah, no,
We're the
they're
mugs. Yeah.
No, yeah, these guys,
Okay.
the U2s, I think.
Yeah.
Like, right, these guys, like.
Yeah. Oh, you're both into them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Where
I'm
are
into
you
them.
getting them? Where are you getting these?
FYE is my big one for it.
Okay.
Real ones. Like, I want to get a lot of Deadpool ones, because like Deadpool has a really cool one where he's like coming out of the like comic strip, and I'm like, that's so cool to have. And they also have like a lot of exclusives. Like they have like certain ones for like Chainsaw Man, which I need to get the manga to read because I've only heard good things, but I haven't read it other than like
I have heard good things.
I'm just like seeing like internet exposure.
I've
to
heard
it.
nothing.
I'm exactly the same. I know the song and that's it.
Yeah.
So where else do you look for these kind of figures? Is that why you like your favorite place, or is that the one that kind of like has the best selection? Like where else do you go? Because I've seen you look online for stuff, but I don't know about like the brick and mortar you may visit.
He's tracking
Online
your
is
online
better.
activity.
Yeah, this is like one of the ones I go mainly online for. It's like online or FYE, and the occasional I'll go to Newsberry and see if they have any good ones, because they get
okay.
some
We
ones
forgot
that
about
FYE
Newsberry.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newsberry's really, really good. I like them. I would, if I had more money, I'd probably like get more stuff from them, because they have like
We all would. We all would.
Story of my life. If I had
If
more
I
money
had enough money, I would buy them.
Yeah.
to buy it, if I had $1 million, do it
Yeah,
tax free,
Newberry Comics.
please.
Newberry Comics is good. I discovered
Yeah.
them first in the Garden City Mall, where they still have a pretty good Toys R Us and the Macy's. And then they opened up in the Smith Haven Mall, and I was excited about that because I rarely got out to the Roosevelt Field.
Mhm.
But
I
Smith Haven
treat,
Mall, we're Tom and I eat lunch across the street from it every Sunday.
yeah,
Which I'd
I
also
treat
like
new.
to open. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'd also like to open it up to the thrill of the hunt, uh, as it pertains to places and not just to toys. Like
Right.
when we were
Aha.
coming back from Cradle, uh, we saw a random mall. We were you asked us if we wanted to turn around and grab it, and we were all thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, why not? And
That was a
we
great
found
decision.
yeah, because we found that Toys R Us and the Macy's, and it had a wall of Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
So
Man, that was the oh, I
That
can't
was
remember
Roosevelt
I've
the
been
Field.
name.
trying to like
That was
find it because I
Roosevelt
want to
Field.
go back. Yeah, it's Roosevelt Field. Because I
I'm
literally
trying to
like
think of the name of the Build-A-Figure, but they had that wave, and
Oh yeah.
that never appeared on like in other brick and mortar stores. The
Nope. Never saw it.
it's Kazar's saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Sasaki? No, I can't believe I forgot his name. But it was that Build-A-Figure wave that I hadn't seen anywhere, and that I
Mhm.
had on pre-order in a bunch of other places that hadn't gotten him in yet, and I just dumped it, and I went with all those figures from there. That was
yeah,
a
Right.
and then
great.
when we
Tristan,
had
you
gone on a
get a
trip to Arizona, we found a spot called Round One, which there's one on the island, but I hadn't been
there
there
is. Yep.
before. And they had a phenomenal Crane Games collection, which as plush collectors and as the well, I mean, looking ahead to the future, probably figure collectors. Besides just articulated ones, like like a more like anime ones, where like it's a character mid battle pose.
Mhm.
Oh, knocked over my coffee. Uh, but that place was phenomenal to see, and then being like, "There's another one," you
Yeah.
know,
I like
it's
that you brought this topic up, Tristan. It's a good one. Because the malls are not what they used to be. Like you find a lot of those import stores because those like a GameStop closed and something else went in there, the retro stuff, right? And so as big name stores are closing, you're getting a lot of retro stores. Even in the mall in Huntington, I forget the name of that one, but there's like a cool little consignment flea market shop in there, not unlike Retro Relics. Those two import stores in Smithfield Mall, um, Smith Haven, sorry, Mall. Those are cool. Every time, you're right. Every time I'm in a city and there's a mall, I want to go walk around it and see what's in there because you're gonna find. I was stuck in New Jersey at the beginning of this week. It was a terrible tale, but
Mm.
I did find my way to a mall. I didn't find anything interesting, but I was like, hey, I'm stuck in New Jersey. I might as well go check out the mall and see if there's anything
yeah,
there. So yes, that thrill of finding some little like secret treasure map place where X marks the spot for something cool. I agree with you. That's fun. Like you're in a city you
yeah,
don't know, go because you're gonna find comic book shops, you're gonna find hobby shops, you're gonna find all kinds of cool things.
yeah. Because the reality is, if I really wanted a specific Pokemon plush, I could say, Mom, Dad, let me give you my money. Let me take your electronic money and let me get this Pokemon. And that would be it, which
Mhm.
is nice. But then there goes the thrill of again, like going to FIE and being like, wait, they
Yeah,
have something new. I've had this place mapped out in my brain and I don't remember this spot. Or
right.
the thrill of even for this generation, the to all my Gen Z viewers watching, the thrill of the gift when you ask for something or ask for
Yeah,
a genre or a collection, and then you see it in your birthday bag, and you're like, "Oh, he's here!"
yeah.
You know,
I
like
think sort of to me to like add on to that, and I think it comes with you like we're doing enough. Maybe if I become an uncle one day, I do not know. I don't know how
that's
Tristan's gonna
that's the plan.
yeah.
I like how he didn't say dad. He didn't say whether I become a dad one day.
Look,
Like
that
Encourage
depends
you
on
both to
if
become
look,
Tristan
that
uncles.
ever
depends.
becomes a dad,
Look, this depends on it depends on who I meet. Maybe I want to. Maybe I'll be a dad. Maybe I won't. Not going to set anything in stone yet. I'm still wishy washy on that. But
You're both staring at each other. When are you going to make me an uncle? When are you going to make me an uncle?
Let the uncle off. Who's going to be the uncle first?
I'm going to set you straight. You're not allowed to adopt nephews. So,
but yeah, no, I feel like getting my own money for collecting kind of is like a weird independence. Like my parents still like keep me restrained because they know that if I had it unrestrained, I'd probably like have $0 in my bank account constantly, which is for the best. But it feels like nice that like when I was with you guys and obviously I can't show it on screen because it required too much. I got a Ryu cardboard cutout. It was very cool because I was like, I want it. I have the money to get it. I can get it for myself. And then I got it for myself, and now it's right there. It looks really cool in my room, and I had that every time to look at. I feel there's something
you didn't
different.
know it would be there.
Yeah, I feel there's something different about like all the guys that I have in the room because I'm like, wow. With the exception of like the gifts ones, which are expected to me for a different reason because it's sentimental value. I'm like, wow, I saw this guy and I got it for myself, and that feels like very cool because I feel like a very much adult because I can afford it. And I think one thing that I've been doing recently.
Yes, I love, Tyler, you just said you feel like an adult because you can afford to buy toys. I love it.
Yeah.
These are the important things in life.
And also
I
recently,
can have ice cream for breakfast.
Oh man, you need to do it.
And also,
you gotta do it.
Yeah, and also recently for like this Christmas is like the first one, and I'm planning to make a continuing where I got like pretty much everybody gifts. I got my friends at like my college Visa gift cards so they can get stuff they want. And then I each got like people in my family like their own like personalized gifts. Like I got my aunt a golden copy, NES copy of Zelda.
You're ruining it. You're ruining the surprise.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised from 4 months ago.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Tyler. Like I've never felt more grown up than the first year that I was able to, with my own paycheck, buy Christmas gifts for my family. That's
because it's like the most adult feels because I'm like, well, I'm looking out for like other people, like looking out for my family. I know it's coming from like me and me alone. It's not like before where like my parents would like write my name on it and be like, oh, this is from like Tyler. It's like,
and you're like, I wonder what I got them.
This is from me. This is from me and me alone because I made this money for like doing stuff. And then I got them from like my family because I thought about it. I thought about what they wanted. I tried to make them as special as I want from like what I remembered. Like I think I got you if I remember correctly, a special like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You sure did.
Yeah, I remember him showing it off.
It's great. It's great when you're able to do that and it hits. Like because you can get people anything and then they give you the appreciative, thank you, and they're appreciative. But you can tell when when they open that box and they're like, and they that they nailed it. And that's such a great feeling, and that's part of the reason why your Aunt Cookie and I had that competition where we needed to get you whatever it was you were looking at immediately and get it to you first, so that we can get that, because that's a dopamine hit. You're like, I love seeing their enjoyment of this item that I am responsible for getting them, and it's great.
Yeah,
to be honest,
so if I can, as we're starting to wind down this thing. Tristan and Tyler, that thrill of the hunt that I'm so glad that you guys have.
Yeah.
Here's your next adventure when you get a couple of years older, and maybe one of you is driving and have a car, and the two of you want to get away for the weekend and have a thrill of the hunt adventure in Pennsylvania. And I have a map of about 15 or 20 flea markets that I will hit once or twice a year. For a weekend, I will go to Pennsylvania and I will hit all of those flea markets. And the flea markets, you never know what you're going to find, right?
Yeah.
And so
Some say they're just like a mini mall.
It's the ultimate like thrill of the hunt, old school, because it's like retro stuff, some new stuff. You never know what you're going to stumble across. There have been times where I struck gold and like, may have spent, aside from, traveling and just may have spent $500 in a weekend on treasures that I found. And then there are other times where, I spent $20 on toys, but I was away for the weekend with people I cared about and people I enjoyed the company of. So it's, well worth it. So when the time is right, when you're ready to do that, wherever I am, we are going to go take a trip through Pennsylvania and we're going to hit all those flea markets. It's going to be awesome.
One year we absolutely need to do that crawl. One
One
more.
of them we went to when I was a kid. Renninger's Flea Market. We went when I was a kid, and we would go a couple times a year with my family. And man, we would clean up. It was awesome.
One more thing before we kind of button this up, since we're on the kind of the topic of thrill of the hunt and where we've been collecting things. Ty and Tris, I want to get your experience at the Toy Con that we went to, because because those are always a weird combination of kind of the mall setup or kind of the department store setup plus the flea market setup, where you have a ton of vendors. They all have very specialized things that they are selling. And I remember the last one that we went to, I feel like you had a good time, but I want to get your
We absolutely did.
Yeah.
what was your experience with that? Like, how did you like that, like doing that as opposed to being in like a Walmart or a Target?
I enjoy that because you get a mix of like old like retro stuff and combined with like custom stuff. Like I got custom like controller things for my my Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which I can use for like a lot of stuff like my Steam and stuff like that. So it's very cool to like have customization options. I got to see my friends. Like realistically, I'm gonna be honest, if I'm gonna meet somebody that I'm gonna one day marry, that's probably gonna be at one of those like conventions, because that's where the people that are gonna be
doing that now.
Yeah,
He just
took the pressure off you, Tristan.
Yeah,
I will be the uncle first.
Okay, it still depends. You might still be the uncle first. Okay, but
look, man, we're still gonna try to hit New York Comic Con this year. So that is the culture now. Like we're much more, when I was in like college or like a young adult, it was a little bit weird. We're so much more with like the Marvel universe and nerds ruling the world now. Like you guys are prime. Like that's just like the norm now. So you look, right. You guys are tall and handsome, and you're gonna find somebody awesome at one of these conventions.
Yeah, no, I'm used to nerds. I go to creative arts college. It's very normal for people to be nerds, and like
right. But when I was in high school buying toys, I couldn't like my friends didn't know. Like, it was like a secret thing.
On the DL, as the kids say.
It was always almost like introducing yourself as a wrestling fan. Like I was always proud of it. So I would just come out and be like, yeah, I collect whatever. And depending on who it was, that person would be like, oh, you like wrestling too? Like they were afraid they would never have told me if I hadn't been the one to say, yeah, I just do this. And they'd be like, I also love wrestling. Like, well, it's kind of a shame that you're not going to mention that.
Right.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent. So you guys go back to Toy Con.
Yeah, no, I kind of felt like the wrestling one, like early 2020s, and now like considering that John Cena turned heel, kind of big. But I also want to make sure that I get like a sentimental note in, because I mentioned it before, getting stuff for it, but like one of the stuff that I do enjoy, like Toy Cons, and like even that last Christmas, I think one thing that I enjoyed more, like I guess I can't say it was my favorite part, because I would use my Steam Deck regularly from like my parents, and like I feel they'd be pretty angry if they said I'm not grateful for that gift. One of my favorite
I've never touched it.
But one of my favorite parts of that Christmas was when I got you that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure, and you told me that you did not have that before, and I feel like
he called me immediately, and he was telling me about that turtle. So
yeah, and also like for my dad and I think I'm gonna more focus again like mom. I think updated with like stuff, but I've been doing like good with like Animal Crossing to get her stuff, because he's been into that. Is that when we went to like different Toy Cons, it doesn't. I'll go back to Cradle Con. Sorry for the little tangent at the very end, but I remember I would get him like these special, like I got him like a Red Hood and a giant golden Kratos like custom figure at very separate times, and he was like very excited because I had it for like his Father's Day gift, and he was like very excited because like it's something that meant a lot to him, and not only that, it's something like special that like not a lot of people like in the world have, because like it's custom made. Like maybe there'll be a couple others, but it's like very unique. It's not like just like a toy line, and I got it because I knew that he liked it.
But you guys, both of you guys made this past Christmas phenomenal for me, because as a toy collector, I don't ask for anything from anybody because chances are I already have it. I just don't. I don't want anyone to feel bad if I've already got something. And a lot of people will take a swing, and I'm always appreciative of anything anyone gets me, because they took the time out and had me in mind and got me whatever. But to get the Venom figure that Tris, you got me, that I didn't have that before. Like I don't have any Amazing Yamaguchi figures. And that Ninja Turtles sketch specialty, I didn't have that either. And these are both things that I thought about getting and didn't. I still wanted them, but I just never got them. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get them later. I still want them, but perhaps at a later time. And to have gotten both of those things on the same Christmas, and they were both things that I didn't already have, blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I was super, like, I don't have enough words to express how proud I was that not only did you get me these things that I didn't have, but like I don't know how much research you did or didn't do, but like you don't have access to my collection. So you don't know what I do or don't have. And you managed to make that call. And that was super duper impressive to me.
Look, you got so much. You got so much stuff over the course of our lives. It's about time we return the favor.
Yeah, and that's I mean that's what it's about. I mean, as we're wrapping this up, we get these things because it gives you the dopamine rush, obviously, and obviously, there's you're gonna see something again and like it, but it makes us happy, and it makes us happy to get other people's stuff. And like that to all the loyal listeners watching, listening, wherever you're getting this at, we're glad you're here because it makes that you're here listening to a bunch of dudes rambling on about something that we're passionate about, and we hope that you find that passion for something in your life too, because it's such a lovely thing,
and that's one to grow on.
Well said. All right. Well, I guess with that we can pull this to a close. Does anyone have a question? Because I actually didn't come prepared with a question today.
No.
No.
I've asked the boys questions and they answered it most eloquently.
I guess for a common for engagement, I guess the one thing I'd ask is like, where do you maybe go in your local area to find toys, and what's so special about going out there to collect stuff for you? And I guess it doesn't have to be toys, it could be anything. For me, it's plushies and Pokemon cards, but what
Mm-hmm.
do you go and find and make something special? Comment down below, give these guys some engagement. They deserve it. They deserve
right.
it. They've been
putting
in. This is the 100th episode. This is the 100th episode. Make it special. Get this one to the top.
It's a centennial. Yes. We need at least 100 views on our 100th episode. Right?
100 views. 100 view game. We're gonna get there.
Well, that's a good question. We'll start with Tris. Where's your favorite place to go?
My favorite place to go. It's gotta be somewhere in I really do like going to the back left of Merryweather Comics, because that's where they have all the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. They have all the Mario stuff. That just I don't usually get anything from there, but going there and getting to observe how it's growing and changing like that's my dopamine rush.
All right, what about you, Dana?
I like going. You know what? It sounds silly, but I like going to Target with you, Tom. I walk through every day, but I don't stop and look at things if they don't have my interest. But if you're with me, we'll stop and pick things up. We'll either go, this is neat, I don't want it, but what makes this neat is this, and we'll have a conversation. Or I'll be like, this toy is awful because of X, Y, and Z, and then we sit and we talk about it. So anytime, because we spend time together, but we don't do a lot of shopping together, because when we're at Retro Relics, we're restocking our area and stuff. So even if we don't get anything, we end up staying in Target for a half hour talking about the stuff we don't want to buy. So I enjoy that.
Mine is kind of the same. I like being in Retro Relics, and once we're done restocking, we kind of do our walk around the premises and just look at different vendors. And because of the kind of store that it is, because it's kind of almost like the flea market, it's like a mini mall. There's a bunch of different vendors. They all have their own type of things. There's always some sort of overlap, but we always get to every now and then they'll have we'll get to the bins that have the old He-Man, Ninja Turtle stuff, and we'll look through, or the $3 bin where every now and then we'll look through and we'll find the old Spawn stuff. And
I can't turn down a bin.
it spurs conversation about these toy lines to remember, or if we're going through the DC stuff and we'll look at in the cases, we'll see the a lot of the DC things, and most of this stuff we already have. And anything that we don't have, we're still not going to buy it. But it's interesting to look at it and say, oh yeah, I remember this particular Toy Biz figure. Or they'll have those wild lines from Toy Biz with the Archangel with the strange missile pack on him, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then
I remember that. Why the hell did they do that?
Why is this happening? And you get to like look at like how the jointing system has changed and how sculpting has changed and whatnot. And then every now and then you'll get some guy that wanders over and butts in and is like, oh yeah, that's the original version of Sabretooth, when it clearly is not.
I remember that guy.
I enjoy those kinds of moments, and it's fun because it this is what we do. So
the real thrill of the hunt was the friends we made along the way.
The friends we made along the way.
Or the people we identified that we didn't want to make friends with.
These are people we don't want to be friends with along the way. Let us depart from this place. So that'll bring this episode to a close. Thank you guys for joining us. Tyler, Tristan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, what a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us for the 100th episode of Two Guys Talking Toys. If you would like to get a hold of us, let us know where your favorite places are to go and look at toys and to purchase toys and who you go there with. Our handle on Blue Sky is Two Guys Talking Toys. That is the number 2, no G after the talking. Same thing for our Gmail. Our Instagram handle is 2G Talking Toys. Tyler, Tris, do you have any? Plug your socials. What do you got?
Not any like right now. So like because the ones I have are like I haven't started with my public ones, and the one that I've been posting on consistently is a personal one. So I'm not giving that.
All right, gotcha.
When I go public, look for me as Super Bagel Man.
All right, sounds good. So when you're ready, when you guys are ready to get that out there on the public,
that sounds
I will
like
add
an
them to
figure I need.
Maybe next time I have something to plug. Next time I might have something to plug. We'll see how things go for me.
When you're ready to get those up, I will plug them on the show and list them in the show notes. So, once again, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed what you've heard and what you have listened to. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your buddies. Until next time, take care, everybody.